Now at 11, we're hearing from the adoptive family of Trooper the dog, who was left tied to a pole in the middle of hurricane evacuations. They're outraged that animal cruelty charges against his former owner have now been dropped, but the Hillsborough State Attorney's Office says there simply wasn't enough evidence for a conviction. Now Trooper's new family is questioning what good is a law if it isn't being enforced. This video of Trooper the dog captured the nation's attention. He was left tied to a pole off of I-75 as Category 3 Hurricane Milton barreled toward Florida. Last October, Hillsborough County State Attorney Susie Lopez had this to say about it.
You're going to pay the price. We're going to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. We take animal cruelty very, very seriously in Hillsborough County. We protect our most vulnerable citizens. The fact that someone could just leave this defenseless animal tied to a pole.
23-year-old Giovanni Garcia was charged with aggravated animal cruelty. But just 1 year later, Frank Spina, Trooper's new adoptive father, says the state attorney called him, saying the charges against Garcia were being dropped.
I said, Susie, actually, it was you who went on the news a year ago. It was you who stood up in front of your constituents in your county next to the governor, and it was you who told everybody that this defendant tied him to a pole.
In May, Governor Ron DeSantis signed Trooper's Law, which makes it a felony to abandon a pet during a natural disaster or evacuation order. It took effect on October 1st, so Garcia cannot be charged under this law, but violators could face up to 5 years in prison and a $10,000 fine.
What good are having these laws if the prosecutor's office refuses to enforce it?
Trooper now lives with the Spinas, who tell us he is still recovering from the trauma from the hurricane. He had cancer and was found with several pounds of trash in his belly. Overall, they say, he's better, but says he deserves justice.
My only request is that Susie Lopez takes a look at this case, or there's one other option. Step out of the way.
And we have reached out to Governor Ron DeSantis' office to see if he plans to assign a special prosecutor to this case. And we've also reached out to State Attorney Lopez's office to see if she plans to refile a lesser charge against Garcia. And we'll let you know if and when we hear back.